Hello everyone, I have a Michael's haul for you today. Jewelry, kind of witchy, metaphysical, crystals, like different kinds of stuff. Let's start with this really cool ring. This was I think $10 and they're either from Sedona Crystals or Bee Landing, but it's Michael's. It's just brands and they kind of alternate, so I always get them confused which is which because they both do crystals. This is a purple druzy ring and the band looks like this. It's pretty fancy and wide but lightweight. And then the stone is big but it's comfortable and it's got a really pretty like filigree setting around the stone. That's nice and sturdy. And what druzies are, if you guys are new to subscribe, check out our spooky playlists and our witchy playlists. I'm Morticia and Gomez is behind the camera. But what druzies are is kind of like there's an agate surface and then little tiny quartz grow on the agate. And these are purple, so probably amethyst. And they could be dyed sometimes too when they're like not as fancy of a color. So I don't know if these are or not. Unfortunately, Michael's didn't say. But it's kind of like they sparkle and glitter. It's like because of little tiny quartz. It looks like somebody put a fistful of diamonds down on an agate, but it's really little tiny quartz that sparkle and move and whatnot, and they grew on the base that was the agate. So that's what druzy quartz is, kind of in layman's terms. So that is this. That's my first piece, and I'm really loving it. And the next piece I'm loving, I had it on yesterday, and today it's not on, but this is a fox brooch. And it's got little red glittery stones all down the tail. It's just the head and tail, but it, just so you know, it's a fox instead of like a wolf or whatever else could have a pointed muzzle like so. And so it's got the face here. The red stone is like the head. It's probably Austrian crystal, but it didn't say. And I think this was like $10. And then you have the ears up here going down into the tail. So that's pretty cool. And then it's got that little, I don't know what you call it, but it's the twirly kind of brooch clasp. And I like it when they close more like a safety pin. I don't really love the twirl, but this one is kind of hard to get in there, but when you do, it stays closed. So I like that. A lot of them just seem to spin right open and closed. But when this pin is inside, it stays closed very well. And I really like it. So that is one of my favorite pieces. And I have a bag of like Michael's stuff to my side. The next piece is a quartz crystal, and it's got the little fancy setting on top, kind of like what my ring is set in, so it's the same brand. And it's kind of just like a natural quartz that was tumbled smooth, and I really like it. It's a good size pendant, and you can tell it's got the natural like striations left in it that wasn't like perfectly cut, so that's cool, but it was polished smooth, so I like that. I like the mix of nice polish and natural. And it's probably about 2 inches by almost an inch wide. It's a good size pendant, and these are like $5, so it's really cool. And then the other brand that does quartz, like I said, there's Sedona and then Bee Landing. This is the other one because the setting is more like less frilly. So I think that would be more. Well, they both could probably be unisex, but this one is cool too because it's a natural, unpolished, but it's still got lots of natural smoothness to it. And it's about the same size, just a different shape. I really like these quartzes. I'm quartz picky. This one's like a double terminated too, so that's cool. The little point is also up here at the top, and you can see it at the top of the setting. I think this is around $5 too. Really good prices, because if you go in like a metaphysical witchy type store, you're going to be paying a good $20 for anything like this, not $5, when it's already set in such a nice setting. And while we're on the witchy, this makes me think of Sarah Sanderson. It's a little purple. I'm not sure what the purple is. I don't think it's a stone. I don't know if it's dyed shell or just acrylic or what, but it's in a metal set. It's a half moon with a little star above it that like moves and swings, and you just put it on a pendant. And that just gives me Sarah Sanderson vibes, so I got that for when I'm wanting to channel my inner Sarah Sanderson. So since I'm usually closer to Bellatrix, it's always interesting to channel my inner Sarah Sanderson. But this is dyed lapis, not dyed, I'm sorry, dyed, I tend to do the natural stones, but I got this for someone else. This was $10 at Michael's, and it's got a really fancy setting. This isn't dyed, it's even worse, it's reconstituted lapis. It's where they take ground up tiny pieces of lapis and sort of stick them together with this paste, and that's why it looks kind of extra shiny and opalescent, where lapis is usually a more steady, sturdy blue. Let's see if I have a lapis over here, but first, I do, but first, this is the back of this, and it just looks kind of like, it looks cool because it's like ornate, fancy silver, and here at the top, and again, for $10, it's pretty amazing, so that makes a nice gift. This is regular lapis, just to compare the non-glitter of the regular, like this is not jewelry, it's just a piece of my personal collection of regular lapis. So that's not the sparkly, and this is the reconstituted. They do this with amber. I knew they did it with amber. I didn't know they did it with lapis and char white and other stones until more recently, but it's kind of sad. I don't know. I like the natural stones, and my lapis did too because it just took a dive. I will get it in a second. I don't want to interrupt the haul. But next we have, I think this is a picture jasper. It's just a nice tumbled jasper. It kind of looks like peach moonstone, but it's jasper because it has like the pink and the brown and the different patterns, but they call it picture jasper because of the patterns. It's a good size pendant. It's in a nice wire wrap, and again, real stones at Michael's in the craft for this price is pretty cool. I think it was like $10 too. So that's nice. I want to say the moon was like $3. I forgot that. This has a setting on top. It's like a triangular green druzy pendant, and the back is just plain. Very sparkly and pretty. I love green. And I think that was $10. Then we have a little rose quartz that probably was maybe $5. And it has like a little band, and then like you put the chain through the top, and it's kind of side set instead of like this, like the points are usually up and down. It goes side set, which is cool. And it's just a cute little rose quartz pendant. I'm getting that for a friend. Then they have these little half moon stud earrings that I love with a little star on it that are going to look good with my pendant, even though they're more autumn gold. It'd be like my harvest moon. And these were given to me by my mom, and I looked up a lot of them, so I'm not sure how much those were, but it's Michael's. It wasn't that much, I am sure. It will not break your bank account. And this is coming up a dark blue druzy from the other company, since they seem to compete, because this one's a fancier setting, like my crystals, and this ring has the little fancier setting around the edges. The back is open, and it's an oval, and the bail is also set with the little fancy filigree, like my crystal pendant, where the chain goes. And this is really good for like $10. It's very fancy and posh and sparkly, and it's a real stone, so that's nice. And what else have we? We have, I like this. I have so many crystals, but they all kind of feel different. It's just a polished, like, middle-size clear quartz double terminated point, but it's got a nice setting. Just a nice simple bit when you want some quartz energy. And it was $5. And they also have red jasper and black obsidian and other stones set like that. Last but not least, this cute little owl trinket box. It's pretty small, as is the opening, so I think it would only hold like 1, maybe 2 rings if they don't have like big stones or anything on them. But my mom got it for me because it's an owl and we love owls, and he's white and purple. And I like these as little statues, although sometimes I do keep little odds and ends in them. I have several different ones. But I think we should do a collection of those, shouldn't we, Gomez?
Yes.
But anyway, like I have one that's a witch on a pumpkin riding a broom. She's so cool. The witch rides the broom, not the pumpkin. But that didn't come from Michael's. But these are cool for statues, just because, like, even if you don't keep anything in them, they're solid, heavy metal, and they're enamel on top. And like this owl has little purple stones in the wings, and the body's white, and it's pretty cool. But it won't tip or break. You know, if you have a lot of stuff and stuff falls over, or you have a cat and it knocks it over, this won't break. So I really love these little boxes that I've seen them out for the past several years, but I just really love them as little statues. I would make that into a pendant because it's so awesome, but it'd be kind of heavy. But anyway, this came from Michael's too. He's such a cool owl, and he opens. Gomez can show you the opening.
Here goes its inside.
Oh, that sounds morbid. I like it. See the owls inside. And so, like I said, it's pretty small, but it's a really awesome little mini trinket box owl statue. And even, like, it could be Halloween-y because of the purple, or just if you like purple and amethyst and whatnot, and it's all little sparkly purple stones. So that is also from Michael's. We hope you enjoyed this haul, and until next time,
Stay spooky, my friends.